All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another day in the character room. How are you? Let's share in the chat. How are you today? Ready for the weekend? I don't know how I am. I'm kind of lots happening this weekend, but let's share in the chat. How are you? Excited about the weekend? Any plans? Today, we have a guest in the house. Usually we have our guest speakers on Thursdays, but then we needed to accommodate the request of our guests. So we had to move it to Friday. And then we had Abiola speak with us yesterday. It was just an interesting conversation we had around keeping your friends. And thanks, Abiola. That was superb, and the engagement was top-notch. All right, today just like this month we are exploring scholarships, grants, and fellowships. And so we're starting off with a friend of the house. She's a scholar like myself and Agnes. I don't know how many of us here are first class students, but I just like first class people. It's not as if there's so much, but it takes a lot to get into that space. So she's a scholar, but today she's not talking to us about first class. So she's going to talk to us about scholarship, her failures and her winnings. So let me read her profile. Remember that you can also, we are streaming live on YouTube, so you can share. Go to our YouTube and share the page for others to join. You never can tell when you need a knowledge that you acquired. So you might be thinking, oh, I don't plan going for scholarship now. But why not? If the money is free and the knowledge is there, why not go get the knowledge, come back? Most importantly, coming back. I'm not saying you should japa. I'm saying it now so that the world will hear my voice. I say get knowledge, come back to your country and be part of development of your country. So with that, I'm going to introduce our guest. Her name is Mrs. Ijeoma Okereke-Adagba. So she is currently a Commonwealth scholar and pursuing masters in practice for development and social change at University of Sussex. She holds a first class degree. I told you people that we don't bring small people in the house. She holds a first class degree in mass communication from the University of Jos and brings over 5 years of experience in media development, gender advocacy, and youth inclusion. Passionate about advancing equity across Africa, she is the founder of the African Women Hub, a growing platform dedicated to equipping women and girls with the skills and opportunities they need to thrive. Ijeoma is committed to empowering young Africans to access life-changing opportunities, fully funded scholarship, and that's why she's here. If the scholarships are there, you can be part of it, but do and come home and bring both lived experience and practical insights to her sessions. So, with our best emojis, welcome everyone. I'm seeing lots of people have joined. Welcome. Please, let's use our best emojis to welcome our guest. She's going to share with us how to find the right scholarships and the tools and platforms that you can use to search. All right, welcome, Ije.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, and good morning. I believe that everybody's joining from Nigeria, so good morning, everybody. Can you hear me very clearly?
Yes.
Good. So I'm going to share my screen. I know Madam Flora means that she loves everybody, not only first class people.
I love everybody, but I also love first class people. Ah, this your picture fine. No. It's okay.
Upcoming, let me see why I can't present.
Welcome everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Just give me a minute, please. Is it showing as full screen from your end?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So once again, good morning, everyone. As Flora has mentioned, my name is Ijeoma Okereke-Adagba. I am I am me. I'm a very simple person, very easygoing person. Media professional. I've worked in the media space for 5 years plus. I've worked in the capacity of a project manager, where I help to implement project activities directed at building the capacity of journalists, student journalists, media practitioners in Nigeria and a few countries in Africa. I have worked as a communication specialist, where I helped to improve the visibility um, of media companies or other companies, not just media. I have been a volunteer several times in many years, and yeah, that's just me. So basically, and then I'm a Commonwealth scholar. Last year I got a scholarship, and I'm currently in the UK studying for my master's in media practice for development and social change at the University of Sussex, which is the first university in the world in terms of development studies. So it's really good to be here. Agnes reached out to me. Agnes and I were classmates back then in the University of Jos. We used to be very competitive, or maybe I would say Agnes has always been competitive. But at the end of the day, we both came up with the first class, and we were the first ever in the Department of Mass Communication to have a first class. So I don't think anybody has broken that record after our time. So we are still the long-standing mass communication first class students from the University of Jos.
Are we not clapping in this place? What is happening? Please, let's throw them their flowers. It's not
Yeah.
easy. It's not easy.
So, just like I said, between 2013 and 2017-18 was my undergrad at the University of Jos. If you see my throwback picture, yesterday I did a throwback picture of myself. You will not recognize me then and now. A lot has changed, not just physically, but I mean, all around, everything has changed. So, and then after I finished after I graduated from university, um, before I graduated, I had already started working or interning with the Plateau Radio Television Corporation, PRTV. For those of you in just you know PRTV. So I was working as a host, as an anchor um for a fitness show. That was when I was I was practically not sure of what exactly I wanted to do with my life. I thought I was going to be a broadcaster. I used to admire the likes of Virginia Abu then. So I thought maybe I could venture into that part. And luckily for me, I got people who accepted me and were ready to train me as an anchor at the PRTV. So I started it. I did it for like 2 years. It was not paid, except when we go out for a few occasions and some of the guests or some of the hosts, they decide to give us small money, like maybe 10K. And if they give us 10K, my boss will pocket like 8K and give me 2K. And I'll be very happy because I wasn't even expecting anything. And then if you're a student and you get 2K, you know that 2K is something. So that was what I was just using to hold my body small. And then of course my parents were paying for my school fee. It wasn't like I was self-sponsoring myself in school. So when I was doing that, I was also writing for Unijust Echo Online. Then it was still like building momentum. I don't know how it is right now, but it was one of the programs that we had to go through as student of mass communication then. And it built our writing skills for those who really or actively participated. It built our writing skills. We tried to I remember my first feature story was about the University of Jos anthem because many people didn't know how to sing the University of Jos anthem, even though they were a student of the school. And even myself, I was not exempted. So because I was writing that feature, I had to learn about the University of Jos anthem. I had to sing it. It's still stuck in my head up till today. And the good thing about the report was that after the report was published on Unijust Echo, that is the hard copy, and both online too. After it just was public, I remember how at every event gathering, it was made compulsory that the University of Jos anthem will be sung. So for me, that was like the first impact I had for myself in terms of writing. And it was something I always look back on. I'm like, I'm grateful I started writing. Um, I also written several other investigations and research reports after that when I left school. So when I graduated, I was a bit confused on what exactly I wanted to do. Like I mentioned earlier, then between I think January and May, that was when we left school and we didn't know what to do. So for me, I had people in my house who were bakers, and I thought maybe I should start baking cake as a first class student. So then I started baking cake. I was baking like cupcakes. I would go and give the shops, and then I'll tell them to come and buy and patronize me so I can be having small money. My urgent 2K. So I was doing it, and then I got a call from an organization called the Premium Time Center for Investigative Journalism, PTCIJ, which is now the Center for Journalism Innovation and Development. And the CEO of the organization called me and asked me what I was doing because he heard I had a first class, and he asked me what I was doing. How did I meet him? How did I know him? It was during those times as students that some organizations came to University of Just to train them on writing, to train student journalists, let me put that word, on data journalism. And we were just randomly picked. I was in 400 level. They were just, I don't know if Agnes participated, but we're just random. 3 of us were picked to be in that training. And we were part of those who were trained. And the man, he has a very soft spot for people with first class. If you go to CJID, you see a lot of first class students who are working there because I don't know, he just loved brains. Let me put it that way. So that was how he called me and said, "What am I doing?" I said, "I'm selling cake." He said, "What?" I needed to come to Abuja and intern with them. And that was how I went to Abuja in May, and I started working with the CGID. I interned, I grew from internship, I went from an NYNC, I was promoted to assistant and then officer and then manager. So before I took a break to come and study at the University of Sussex. During that time, I was also volunteering. I have volunteered for a lot of organizations, including the gender equality advocacy movements. I think I'd been an election observer in my NYC during my service days. I also actively involved in my in my what do they call it? My CDS. I was very actively involved. So I was just doing all of that, just everything that comes, I do it. Everything that comes at every stage, I put in my best. That's how my life is. At every stage of my life, that is where my life is at that stage. So I make sure I put in my best so that when I look back tomorrow, I'll not say I didn't utilize that opportunity that I had, which is an advice I always give to young people who are just coming up. Like, I'm still young, I'm not old, I'm not old. But it's very important that every stage that you are right now, don't see it as a like a very stagnant position. It's not stagnant, you're always moving. Tomorrow you will not be there anymore. So wherever you find yourself now, give it your best because it will help to tell your story when that time comes. Put in your best. Don't look at anybody's face, just giving your best. And then I applied for the Commonwealth scholarship and I got it. So that is just a little bit about myself. Um, Let me talk about my scholarship journey. I just did this chart to give you a picture of how some people's scholarship journey are just like very straightforward. Mine is not straightforward, and it's not something I've not something I've pictured this way before. This is my first time of showing this graph of my scholarship journey. So remember I told you I finished school in 2018. So 2019, I felt like, okay, I'm a first class student. Now my head is sharp. I'm very smart. Let me apply for scholarship and just move on sharp, sharp. So that was the first time I looked at what a scholarship is all about. Look at the caption there. I tell myself every day that when I clock 50, I don't want to look back and regret not trying or doing something I love so much because I gave up, or because I thought I was not enough, or because I feel like I was not good enough. No, I always try. What's the worst that can happen anyways? He said no. Apart from no, nothing else. So the first time I attempted a scholarship was in 2019. I wouldn't say it's an attempt anyway, because I opened the Commonwealth scholarship application because Commonwealth has a very, very long, complicated procedure of applying. I opened it, I saw questions. This one, that one, what have you done? What is your impact in the society? What is your long-term goal? What is your short-term goal? How will you? I was looking at the question, like, what is this? So after reading all the questions, I said, no, 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 I can't do this. I I stopped. I didn't apply. That was it. I didn't apply. I just looked at it and I was like, no, no, no. I said, let me continue my work. Remember, then I was still interning with the CGID. So between 2020 and 2022, it was my scholarship pursuit year. My scholarship pursuit. I was still single. I got married. I had my baby. I was still pursuing scholarship between that 2020 and 2022. I tried Chevening first 3 times, 2020, 21, 22. I tried Chevening those 3 years, and it was unfortunately blah, 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 those heartbreaking emails, heart-wrenching emails. I received them. I had this colleague who was like my accountability partner, and she too, she was applying, and it literally broke her. It broke her the way it used to break me. I would cry on my bed at night and be like, is it that I'm not good enough? Because I was already like, I was now working, I had gotten a lot of experience, and there was a lot of impact I was contributing to the society. I know. So why was I not being selected? So I tried MasterCard also, I tried Erasmus Mundus, and they were all successful between 2020 and 2021. So that's 5 scholarships because I was just like giving in my best. I always say I don't want to say I didn't try when I had that chance to, because that was when because I can never be 25, I can never be 28, I can never be 30, because I am not old. Let me just using those years. So I I gave it my all, trying to apply. It got to a point where at first I was always seeking reviews, and I felt like I was allowing those reviews from very, very, very strong people. I was feeling like those reviews and the comment they give me was making me feel less of myself. So after like 2 years, I started going on YouTube, researching, checking some of those tips. People shared folders of scholarship opportunities and essays and how to answer some questions. People were going on live course to give people tips. I was just exploring everything. If I got to a point where I couldn't keep track of the amount of information I was dumping in my system, or I was collecting on scholarship, because I just wanted to get a scholarship. I knew how important it was for me, not just because it was going to make me feel like I know that my value matters, or I know my worth, but because also in terms of my career growth, it was needed. Do you get? It was needed. Scholarship for us it gives us that kind of affirmation, and it gives you I don't know the right word, like a badge to say that you are good enough, even though you know that you are good enough, but it gives you that kind of leverage that you want, or edge. And when I say scholarship, I don't just mean only scholarship. Even fellowship, there are very top reputable fellowships that people apply for and they get. Like Mandela Washington, one of those fellowships. There are many others too that people apply for, and I am that kind of person that, so I didn't even put fellowships on my list, but I was applying like mercilessly to fellowships to that period, and everything was just coming negative, unsuccessful. Unfortunately, everything was just coming that way. I said, what? Well, in 2021, I think I had my first breakthrough with securing something I felt was close to scholarship when I won the youth delegate. When I went to represent Nigeria as a youth delegate in France, at Strasbourg, as a youth delegate during the World Forum for Democracy, and that was my first time I got something that I was so excited about, because it felt like, okay, my applications, my essays, the way I was applying was getting better. I was getting good at it. Remember, I told you I was soaking in a lot of information on application tips on how to stand out as an applicant. So I was doing it, and when I got that World Forum for Democracy as a youth delegate in 2021 to go and represent Nigeria in France, it felt really good. I felt proud of myself, and it motivated me, it gingered me to go more. So, and then 2023, I didn't apply for any other scholarship except Commonwealth. In fact, when I applied for Commonwealth scholarship, that particular one, it was the last day I submitted the application because I was still dragging my feet. I felt like, okay, let me take a break. I had a son then, and I was trying to pick up my career. You know, for us women, one of the things that set us back is motherhood. And so after I had given birth to my child, I was trying to I had gone on leave and I resumed work. I was trying to get myself up and, mentally put myself back at work. And so I was like, let me give myself a break for scholarship. But my husband was like, just try it again, just try it again. So he shared this Commonwealth scholarship link with me. I applied, and the rest, they say, is history. And that's my journey for Commonwealth, for scholarship. That's my scholarship journey. Again, I tell myself every day, and it's something I say everywhere I go. I don't want to look back at my 20s and my 30s or my 40s and I regret not trying something when I had a chance to. So it's something I keep having at the back of my mind every day as I grow. What did I learn during my scholarship journey? What were the lessons I learned? And these lessons are usually, they're going to reflect in your application. You will see it reflecting in your application. And I forgot to ask, do we have those who have attempted to apply for scholarship before? Let me see. That was what I wanted to ask earlier. How do I? Let me see. Okay. Do you have those who have applied and the okay, you attended to apply, okay. Do we have those who have never applied for scholarship before?
Yeah, I've applied before.
Okay, and it was not successful.
Well, they were not successful.
That's fine. Do we have those who have never applied before? I've never applied. So do you want to apply? And just use the comments. Yes, good. So, and don't say that. Some people will be like, I don't think I'm good enough yet to apply. I don't think I'm good enough yet. You have to just start at where you are. Don't be telling yourself you need to have achieved this. You need to. I speak to a lot of people and they tell me that they want to that they read that you have to have written some publications. You have to have. When I applied, I have not written any research work kind of. Even though, yeah, okay, yeah. Even though I have done some news report and everything, but research work. Oh yeah, I think I did later. But the idea is that when I started, I had nothing. So I started learning along the way that okay, you need to keep doing this. You need to keep doing this. Let me see. It says never applied for others were unsuccessful. Yeah, I also forgot to mention that I got a partially funded scholarship too. That was in Canada. I applied for one of the schools there, and it was partially funded. And what I was going to pay was like, I don't think I could have made that money in 10 years of my lifetime. So I was like, nah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I wanted fully funded. I didn't want to stress myself with money. Where will I see the money? Where will I see the money? I came from a very, very, I don't want to talk about my background, but people that know, we know that growing up for us was not easy. So you needed to work hard. Your brain and your effort was what was going to count for you. Okay, keep the comments coming. Actually, let me continue with my slides. Okay, I hope you can still see my screen. Yep, I think so.
Yes, we can.
All right. So, what did I learn during my journey? I learned that resilience is my most important asset. My most important. I got a lot of news, like I mentioned. I know how many times I would wake up at night and cry and start feeling like I was not enough. That feeling of, am I not good enough? Um, was always coming at the back of my mind until it got to that point where I knew that I am good enough, scholarship or no scholarship, I am good enough. And you have to tell yourself that regularly, I am good enough. I am good enough. So when you get a no answer, it's not a final answer, it's just a redirection. You just need to go back. Some people don't even experience rejection at all. Their first time applying and they got it. Let me give you an example. The first time I applied for Mandela Washington Fellowship, I got it. I got to the interview stage, and I was happy because it was my first time applying. I know how competitive Mandela Washington Fellowship is, very competitive. So I got to the interview stage, and I never got to the final stage. And I felt so bad for myself. I felt really bad. So, and funny enough, that was the same year I got the scholarship, which was just last year. So rejection is part of the process. It's not a reflection of your worth. Mm-mm. It's not even though scholarship gives us that commendation that we feel we deserve. That it doesn't say this is who you are. It doesn't define you. People who have worked with you, who have interacted with you, they know your worth. They know what you can bring. It's just a little bit of packaging that you need, how to put everything that you have gathered over the years and show these people that you are capable, that you are the right candidate to be awarded a scholarship, that you know what you are doing. You just have to put it together. And so when you get that rejection email, don't feel bad. Some people, whenever in fact, people have learned over the years that when they get get that email, they just go to the bar, take no, not coffee, take one drink or something, pepper soup, something to push themselves. Then you dust yourself and move back on. You go back and look at it again, look at your application again, research more again. What am I not doing right? So always the question, what am I not doing right? So that you can, funny enough, you think that you're not doing it right enough for a particular scholarship, and then you put it for another one, and then boom, you get it. That's the funny thing about this scholarship stuff. So you have to not see rejection as the final answer. It's just a redirection, and it's important that you take note of that. Also, self-improvement. Every rejection took me back to the drawing board. Just like I mentioned, I volunteered more. I took on leadership roles. I improved my writing skills and online visibility. I went on different fellowships that also enhanced my skills. I went to the African Feminist Microeconomic Academy in Togo to go and learn about writing and women and finance. I went to the fellowship for reporters for female reporters in Nigeria by the Olusegun Center for Investigative Journalism. I did that fellowship for how many months? I can't even recall, but it came out. I came out very successful because it's part of what contributed to building my capacity. I imagine I was being rejected for scholarship, but I was applying for fellowship. The ones I knew, I knew I was very capable, I had a high chance of succeeding. I went for it. People will tell you, oh, this one is a low fellowship, it's nothing. People will look down on your fellowship, whatever I think. Don't let anybody make you feel bad about your success. Don't let anybody make you feel bad about your success. Anything you are doing, do it with boldness and with pride. Rub it on online people's faces that you are not ashamed of what you are doing, no matter how little it is. And you see that noise is very important. You need to make that noise everywhere. Show them that this is what you are doing and that you love what you are doing. So I improved my visibility online too. I started documenting all my successes, everything I was doing. I was documenting it, not just in terms of coming on LinkedIn and say I participated in this particular program. I've received the completion certificate of participation or certificate of completion. How important is that certificate to you? What are you going to use that certificate to do? You're a fellow for a particular program. How important is it for you? What were you able to achieve? Sometimes when I go on international trips, I do reports from those trips because I need to document my evidence that I was there. I did something there. And I may be speaking to non-media persons. You don't have to write in a media platform per se. There are a lot of platforms available for you to write, to do a self-report of yourself. Medium is one of those. You can create your account there. The LinkedIn is one of those places. You can even create a free website for yourself and just be publishing things you feel like you need to publish because you're a writer. Create an online portfolio for yourself. If I search Google now, am I going to find your name on it? Because it's random things that recruiters and those people, judges, they check. They just want to check your online presence. They want to see your consistency. They want to see how well you're doing with how well you're doing in that little space of just, even if it's just somewhere in a Bomo show, even if it's just somewhere in Jikoya, Abuja, whatever it is that you are doing, that little space that you find, that's your bubble. Are you making impact in that tiny space that you have? Because if you can be able to make impact in that very little space, it means that you have the tendency of making impact in a very bigger space. So it's very important that you put in your best at it and always document your work online. Don't keep it to yourself. Let's show it, say it out. You did this, you did that. Put it out. People are watching you. They are following your progress. They are following your story. So don't be shy about it. Scholarship application is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You don't just run it once like it was a boat and 100 meter and you are done. No, you go over and over again. You go over. It takes time for you to grow, to mature, to learn. The person I was when I first attended in 2019, remember I told you guys I just closed the whole thing. Was not the same person I was by the time I was applying for 2023 because I have in 2023 because I have gone through a lot of processes. I have gone through a lot of processes. The essays, the writing those essays, crafting it. In fact, the good thing about rewriting those essays was that they also made me to identify my purpose, my passion. It gave me a sense of direction and clarity because every time I'm writing the same thing, I'm like, is this really it makes me so it's not easy for me to say this is my path because these are what those questions tend to do. They want to know if you really know exactly what exactly you're doing. They want to know, they want to see it. So you need to be convinced that this is my path. I want to go in this path of development and social change as a media practitioner. I want to go in this path as a tech person, as a graphic designer, as a medical person, a nurse. Like I don't know which sectors of field you are coming from, but it means as a social impact person, wherever sector you're coming from, whatever your field is, you need to be able to show that this is who I am. This is where you can find me, and this is my I am at my best when I'm in this space. Do you understand? So these are what those rejections made me realize. I got better and better in my application essays. So then there's also the place of mentorship and support. Obviously, I have a lot of people that I look up to in this space that define the work that I do. If you will follow me on social media, you see that in so many occasions I've given credit to people who have helped me identify my passion. When they even look at my application, they will say, no, IG, this is not it. They will not tell you to your face that this is what you should write. But when they tell you no and they give you one or two few pointers, you will know that you have to go back to your drawing board. People who were always encouraging me, even back in my university, University of Jos, people who were always encouraging me, whenever I reach out to them to review my application or even be references for me, they don't even think twice about it, which is why whenever I see people reach out to me and say they want me to reference for them, especially those people that I've kind of mentored or worked with in the past, I don't even think twice about it because I know how I was in a position where I wanted people to reference me at every point, and those people showed up on me. They never told me no. So there's always that place of mentorship. Who are you looking up to? Are you following their posts regularly? Are you seeing something to learn from their lifestyle? You don't have to reach out to them personally and say, can you mentor me? Can you mentor me? Like we saw some people do that you have to pay a certain amount of money to be mentored. No, you can be a mentee from afar. You can be a mentee from afar. You can be looking at people's posts and be learning from the kind of work that they do. You don't even have to comment, just following them, seeing them sharing their stories, which is why it's also important that you share your own story because somebody else too is learning from you. When they share their story, you learn, you use pick one or two from their lessons. Go and read about the people that they follow. Check their followers and those they follow, because they too have people that they look up to. Look at the kind of people that they follow. And just recently, I did a lot of will I say did, I detoxed my social media platforms. I unfollowed a lot of people. I unfollowed. They were just popping on my phone like, what is this? What is this? I unfollowed it, and I because I know this is what I remember. This is me at this stage, and it was just last month it happened. It means that every day we are growing, we are learning, we are redefining our purpose, and we're channeling our energy towards that passion that we've identified. So yes, mentorship and support is very crucial in this your scholarship journey. It doesn't have to be a lonely journey. Join communities that motivate you, that inspire you. Have an accountability partner. Reach out to those people who you trust their review. Because when you look at your essay, they always see one or two things that you feel like you should add that you are not saying. Even though you know what you are doing, they know your worth. So they will tell you these are the kind of things that you need to add to make your essays much better. And lastly, always prepare ahead of time. You have to create a document that has all the scholarships that you want to apply for the year. This is the scholarship season. Once you get to August, September, November, December, a lot of scholarship and fellowships are going to be coming out, and you have to put them down on a central document that you're going to be using to assess yourself, how well you're doing. Your essays should have been prepared long ahead of time, because most of the scholarships and fellowships, their essays are online. The kind of questions they will ask you, they're online. So you have to go online and draft them, make sure that they are ready, so that when it comes out, you just have to look at the new application. Like now you can see that Shivani came out this year, and there are a lot of few changes that happened. It means that you have to go back to your essays and just tweak it a little bit to meet the new eligibility criteria. So always be ready ahead of time. Don't wait until the scholarship open and then you start running helter-skelter, putting yourself under pressure to start drafting your essay, because those essays are mind draining, to be very sincere. They are mind draining, even though you know what you're doing, but putting it down on paper and trying to convince someone that don't know you from anywhere that you are capable, that you are worth it, it's not easy. It's not easy. So you have to prepare ahead of time. So yeah. So my lessons definitely will be reflected in my essays, and because I'm not going to go into the essay application itself, all those essay questions and prompt and the rest. This is just like a general overview. So that would be a different session eventually if Agnes and her team decides to hold it. So we have types of scholarships. We have the fully funded scholarships, which is one of which Commonwealth scholarship is one of those types of scholarship by the UK government. Chevening is one of the fully funded scholarships as well. Fulbright is one of the fully funded scholarships in the US. And I think I'm going to mention them in the next slide. But basically, you have full scholarships, you have partial scholarships that only cover for a portion of the tuition fee, most especially. You may not really get stipend and accommodation allowances. You have to work while you're on these kind of scholarships. There are fellowships also that are used for graduate students and researchers. Fellowships can be from a scholarship, provide stipend to cover your living expenses while you go on doing your research. Then there are also grants and bursaries. They are typically need-based forms of financial aid that do not have to be repaid. They are mainly from governments and universities or some foundations, or just give you particular money to go on a study so that you can research about a particular field. Mostly in STEM, they do that a lot. So yeah. In the UK, we have some very popular funded scholarships. Obviously, you know that Shifting Scholarship is out because it's fully funded and it's only for masters. Shifting Scholarship is only for masters. You have your monthly allowances, living and warm clothing allowance, then they put your return fare, you go and come back on their budget. You don't spend a dime. Same thing with Commonwealth Scholarship. I said that Commonwealth Scholarship is for masters and PhD. Shifting is only for masters. So Commonwealth is for masters and PhD. You don't spend a dime. And when I mean a dime, you don't even spend 1 naira. You don't spend 5 naira. Nothing from your pocket will be paid. Everything from the moment you leave Nigeria till you go back home will be covered by the UK government, FCDO. And then there's also the Gates Cambridge Scholarship. I did not even mention that I also applied for Gates Cambridge Scholarship. It's a very competitive scholarship. It's, oh my God, it's so competitive. My colleague at the CGID got this particular scholarship and he's doing so well for himself. It has very limited slots, and you have to study at the University of Cambridge. Are you not hearing the name? Is Cambridge. Those are when you say Harvard. So it covers the full cost of study, a monthly maintenance allowance, FA, and other costs. But Gates Cambridge Scholarship has a lot of benefits. If you check them out on their website, it's really, really cool. In the US, the popular ones are Fulbright Scholarship and Knight Hennessy Scholarship. They all cover everything that you need for the scholarship. Or just that most times in the US, people go as if you're applying for a PhD or a graduate assistant, you have to be teaching while you're studying. In the UK, most times you don't have to be teaching. You're just a researcher as a PhD student or you're a student as a master student. There's nothing like teaching. Every country has their own nuances. Then in the Europe, you have that scholarship, which is in Germany. It's also very popular, very popular. It's a very good scholarship. Then you have the Eiffel Excellence Scholarship in France, and then the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters, which is also a very good one. I had applied for it. I didn't get it. My colleague also, I have a lot of colleagues that are scholars. Actually, we have a lot of people from CGD who have won scholarships. A lot of us. So she had gotten this one. And the good thing about Erasmus is the fact that it gives you the ability to explore a lot of European countries. Just traveling, and then you get double certificate when you are done, double degree, because you're combining two universities to study. It's a very cool scholarship, honestly. So where can you find these opportunities? The first one here is scholarship search engines, which is scholarship.com. When you click scholarship.com, you register, and then you search for the scholarship that you want. If you don't even know, just search it by your course or your course, whatever it is you want to study, or by the region. You see scholarships that are available in that region. I think even by country. So go there and search. Start from there. Most of the guys that share scholarship opportunities on social media, they get it from scholarship search engines. So scholarship.com is one of those engines. There are many, but this was the one that I know I used in that period. And I still use. Then you have government-sponsored sites like the British Council, the UK Gov. You find it there. That is from the British High Commission. Then for the US, you can check the US Embassy. Usually, you can just go to their platforms. You see this education section, and then you see the ongoing scholarships and other educational opportunities that you're not even aware of. If you go on their website, you see so many opportunities that people are not even aware of because people don't check them. It's only those people that know what they want that are always going there to check. So make sure that you always check those kind of places regularly because they post a lot of opportunities for them. It may not even be about scholarship. It could be like a training that they want to give to Nigerians. And they are not even like very strict criteria just for you to apply, but you wouldn't know. So you won't apply. So I advise that you always check government sponsored sites for those kind of opportunities. Then we also have foundation websites. There are other scholarships that are non-government and fully funded, like the Gates Scholarship, Mo Ibrahim Scholarship, the Ford Foundation Scholarship, from Gates Foundation. Yeah, they all have scholarships. So it's very important that you explore their websites for those kind of opportunities. And then, of course, the universities and the department themselves have scholarships that are targeted at international students. So you have to check them. If you know that you want to study at the University of Cambridge, for example, it's good that you go to their website. From their website, go to the department, go to reach out to some of the professors and ask if they have available funds. I know somebody who will be resuming this September, and it was through this process that he got his own scholarship. In fact, he had to reach out to the professor who didn't even know that there was scholarship available in his department. And then the person, after they had told him that there was no scholarship and he had been accepted, later came back and told him that, okay, that there's this particular amount of money that we can spare for you as a scholar. So you always have to be intentional about how you search for scholarship opportunities. Then there are also social media platforms that share a lot of opportunities regularly. I know that then on Twitter, which is X, I had turned on my notification for Opportunities Hub. scholarships, scholarship cafe, opportunities decks. My notifications were on. So if I go on X most times and I just see my notifications are up to 30, I'll just go there and I'll see that these platforms have posted a lot of scholarship opportunities, and then I'll start searching and searching for the one that I want, So you should also do the same thing. I don't know how LinkedIn and Instagram or Facebook work in terms of notifications, but I know that on X you can put notification on all these platforms and many others. Actually, there are so many people that share scholarship opportunities on their handles, so you can follow them and always do like a notification, so that whenever they post anything, you will not miss it out. Because if they post something before you even scroll, it has refreshed and everything is covered. But when you put notification, you'll just see especially customized for you. So it's very good. Then Google Alert was very helpful. I knew that I wanted to apply for Chevening and Commonwealth scholarship. So 2025, 2023. So I set my alert that way. So that once it just come out, it takes me directly to the link where I'm going to apply. And also when there are conversations around Commonwealth or Chevening scholarship, like maybe new trend and anything that happen, because of my alert, it pops up that on my email or in my email. It's the same way I've set alert for my name. I set alert for my name, so that wherever I'm mentioned or referenced, I can always document that, so that it can also be part of my portfolio. Do you understand? Then I forgot to mention in some of the lessons I've learned from my life lesson, from my scholarship journey, that it's very important for you to I had mentioned build your online visibility, but I didn't talk about the need to fine tune your social media presence, sort of. So if you're on X, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Instagram or Facebook, let those places be like your online CV. Okay, your profile should be professionally written, just like the way you would write your CV. The years you were at a particular place working or volunteering, the tasks that you achieved, all of that. Make sure your CV, your profile documents all of that in a very clear and professional manner. So people, you don't even have any profile picture. They're using pseudonyms on their social media accounts. How do you want people to take you serious? You're not taking yourself serious. So you have to be very intentional about social media presence. Yeah, I know how I've received a lot of job opportunities just from my social media, because it's like my CV is already showing what I'm capable of doing, and I celebrate all my wins on that platform. So it's so important for you to build credibility online too. So I think this is like my second to the last slide, if I'm not sure, or probably the last. But what are some of the tips to make your application stand out? Again, I said that this is not like an in-depth essay application um, webinar. So I'm just giving like general tips, because it cuts across all the scholarship that you're going to be applying for. The first thing is that you need to tell a compelling story. This is your why. Your why is saying, why are you the perfect? Mm. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So why are you the perfect person for this specific scholarship? Why do you need this scholarship? So there are two questions there. Why are you the perfect person for the scholarship? Why? What makes you, your why is your narrative. Your why is your narrative. It's is you showing them, not you're not telling, you're showing them that this is what this is why you are the right person. If you're in a small community where you've been able to lead outreaches for women and girls on, say, sanitation hygiene or menstrual hygiene, let them know that this is what you have done. Don't just say, I was able to lead outreaches into. What was the impact of that outreach? Why was it even necessary in the first place? What drove you? What led you to to embarking on those outreaches? What is your motivation? That is your why. So you need to state why you are the right person. Then why do you need that particular scholarship? A Shivani scholarship. Why? Shivani banks on leadership experiences, professional experiences. You have it. Why is it important that it's Shivani scholarship you want? What makes Shivani so special? It means that you have to research about the scholarship, their mission, and connect it to your own story. You get so you need to demonstrate your leadership and your impact. That is why you need that scholarship. So research about them and tie it to your story. Everything is about narrative. Then, as I mentioned earlier, showcase your impact, not just your role. So you were a project officer, a project manager. So what? A lot of people have been project manager or project officer. You were the communications social media officer, something like that. So why? What did you use your role to achieve? Do you get? So that's why you need to be very authentic. You need to say what were the points of transformation or learnings for you in that role. What did you do? And you need to be able to quantify those things that you say you've done. As a social media officer, for example, you say you grew a platform. How did you grow the platform? Okay, it was in 100, it was in 10, just 10 followers, and then you grew it to 1K followers. It was, you have to put numbers, quantify those things. You did outreaches. How many outreaches have you had? How many people were in attendance? What were the impacts of those attitudes? Did you get testimonials? And it's very important for you to get testimonials. And you're someone who is very intentional about getting testimonials from people that she has trained or worked with, because it weaves into her narrative. She wants to know how she's doing. She wants to know if at all she's adding a value, she's bringing a value, she's contributing to something positive. So what are those people saying about the work that you do? You get? So make sure that you showcase your impact and not just your role. Shape the focus from what you did to what you achieved. So what? So it's a so what question. You did outreach. So what? What happened? Do you understand? Then you have to also tailor your application to each opportunity. Same advice I would give to somebody applying for a job. So some people are so lazy to revamp their CV or review their CV to fit a particular job description. Because if you're applying for jobs, every role differs or slightly differ. One CV cannot do it for you. You have to, if I'm applying for the role of a communication specialist, for example, and I've been a project manager in my previous workspace, I have to tailor it to, I have to talk about those strengths as a communications, or those things I did that demonstrate the eligibility or the requirements for that new role. The same thing with scholarship. You're applying for Commonwealth scholarship. You cannot use the same essays or response you use for Shivani, for Commonwealth, because the essays are different, even though they're a little bit similar, but you have to tweak it a little bit to meet the new scholarship. Don't just use one and just throw it away and just put it. And let me tell you, the essay you used 2 years ago and you want to apply now, don't just carry it and put it for them. What has changed? So you want to tell me that between last year and this year, nothing has happened in your life. Update it, change it again, because I'm sure that between last year and this year, you've gotten better perspective about what exactly you were doing. Reflect it in your CV. Don't just carry it or your essays and just throw it again, and you're just shooting your shots, and then you go back and be praying to God where you don't even have to spend your energy praying. If you put so much work in it and you pray to God, even God will know that, okay, you have done something. Let me bless you. You get? So demonstrate resilience and growth mindset. You are you want to mention that you want to give them a narrative of your journey, your growth. You were a volunteer from here. You are now a full-time person, full-time staff, and these are the jobs that you've been doing. What have you learned within those periods? What were the challenges that you faced? how were you able to? So I always advise people to use a SMART approach. And I forgot to mention it. I think in the show Don't Tell, use a SMART approach. What was it? What situation? What task? What action did you take? What were the results? What timeline? It's very important. So when you're telling your shivering or your Commonwealth journey, you have to use a story. People like to hear stories. Don't write like AI. AI is not. I didn't even put it in my slide, but it's a no. It's a no. You don't use AI and submit an application. You are already disqualified because there are a lot of tools that have been built to detect AI written essays. Be authentic. Be yourself. Show, don't tell. Just like I've written earlier. Imagine me weaving the story of how I was rejected in different scholarships into this particular one and why I feel like at this stage in my life it is necessary, it is needed. Okay, so you have to demonstrate it in your writing. These people don't know you from anywhere, so you don't come and be talking to them or writing to them as if they've known you before. You have to be very clear. So research is very important in all applications. Always do your due diligence. Research about the scholarship, about those things that they need, and make sure that the goal and mission of each scholarship is factored into your essays. I know that this day Tiffany have talked about how they want their scholarship to be tailored in a particular field. Initially, I know it was about SDG, but now they've selected the field they wanted to. Obviously, because the global discourse is changing, there's climate and AI, a lot of things are going on right now. So they want your intervention to be in such a way that they are addressing those gaps that are emerging. So you have to be very, very intentional about how you write it. And then at the end of the day, you pray. Prayer is also very important. You can't, after putting in your effort and submitting, you say, okay, God, I have done my part. The rest is for you. And I think that is the end of my slide today. Thank you so much. If you have any question, you can ask. I know I'm a few minutes above my time, but obviously, I started late. So if you have questions, just put in the chat box and I'm still here. Thank you very much, Agnes. Thank you very much, Flora. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you so much. In fact, I could just feel you like sharing from the heart. And oh my God, I couldn't put my device down. That was how magnetic it was. Look at the emojis. Please, let's keep them coming. Keep them coming. Thank you so much. So if you have questions, we have hands up. Oh, we have hands. So do you want to take them?
Okay, sure.
All right.
Let me just start with. Let me start with. So if you cannot speak, then you can just drop the question. I think dropping the question in the chat box is better so that you just go straight to the question. But let Christian, you can ask.
All right. Good morning.
Morning.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah, my question is on the scholarships based on not full funded, because I know I got a scholarship in Canada, but it was not full funded. So I want you to throw more lights or explain more on that. Thank you.
Okay. For fully funded scholarship, partially funded scholarships, it means that they probably will cover only your tuition. You get? They'll cover only your tuition, and it means that your cost of flying to that country, your accommodation, monthly allowances. When I mean allowances, it means that things you use for buying your food, you want to go on you want to use your transport, water, because those things are paid for in most of these countries abroad. They don't cover it. They don't cover only your tuition fee. And you'll be shocked that the cost of flying, accommodation, and so many other expenses is almost like half of that tuition fee, or even 5%, but it's a lot of money. So if you're applying for a partially funded scholarship, are you ready to go there and be working while schooling when you don't even know how that place is like? A lot of people have done it, but you have to ask yourself, is this the path I want to go? Do I want to stretch myself that much to go and be looking for money for my accommodation? Or are you going to take the little money you're managing in Nigeria to go and be spending there? Because money that you have here in Nigeria and you take it abroad is peanuts. It won't go take you anywhere. So I always advise people that know their financial capability to go for fully funded scholarship. I told you I did get a partial scholarship from Waterloo University in Canada. I think it's in Canada. But I couldn't, the money that they were asking me to pay at the end of the day for the rest of the other things was so much, and I just ignored it because I don't have that money. So I hope I answered your question, Christian.
Yeah, yes, thank you so much. Yeah, because I got a scholarship that was Yorkfellow University, Canada. So, but it is usually based on the tuition fee. So, but the problem is there was no accommodation, just as you said, no accommodation, no feeding, nothing. So even your flight tickets and visa, it was not covered. So I have to leave it because looking at the tuition fee and then the money we spend is more compared to that. So I have to leave it and then begin to search for another. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Yeah, you're welcome. Patience.
Okay, so good morning, ma'am. Thank you for your presentation. Please, I want you to throw more light on the requirements for scholarships. Like, you graduated with a first class, so does it mean that anyone that did not graduate with a first class is not qualified for a scholarship? Also, what's the minimum requirements for the scholarship? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patience. So if you don't have a first class, it doesn't mean that you're not going to get a scholarship. That's if you've heard it from anywhere, it's wrong. It's wrong. Some scholarship, first class is a requirement. Like Commonwealth scholarship, first class is stated there. It's a requirement. Like you need to have a first class for Commonwealth scholarship. Chevening, on the other hand, it banks on your experience. It banks on your years of experience, the years that you've invested in working, your impact that you contribute to the society. So I know people who have 2-1 in 2-1 and even 2-2 apply for Chevening scholarship and they get it because your certificate, undergrad certificate, does not define who you eventually become outside school. It doesn't even show how you. So people were not that expert. Some people were not even that good at, how do I put it, writing or showcasing their knowledge while they were in school. But when it comes to work, they can do real work. So first class is just one of those things for some scholarship. There are other ones that don't require you to have a first class. It's just for you to check all those criteria when you're researching. I hope I answered your question, Patience. Also, some people will say, is age a restriction? Age is not a restriction. Some scholarship, in fact, most scholarship don't have age restrictions. I think if you maybe MasterCard, I'm sure there is some MasterCard, or there isn't. I think it's fellowship that even have age restrictions. Scholarship don't have age restrictions because they believe that no matter the age that you are, you are still worth it. Your brain is not old like your body. So you can still shoot your shots. Don't think about age. Age is not a restriction for most of these scholarships. Rose said,
Thank you, ma'am.
yeah.
Thank you.
Rose said, what if you have many interests and talents and can't seem to choose which niche to zone on? How can someone sift through to select for the best option? So my answer to you, Rose, is what gives you passion? Which of these talents, when you're involved in it, when you're doing it, if you're singing, for example, do you find yourself more fulfilled and happy singing? Do you find yourself happy writing? Do you find yourself happy going to help the needy in your society? In all of these talents, which is okay for you to have multiple talents. I know how many talents may have, but where exactly do you think your strength is? That is where you need to bank on. And you're still going to talk about how you've been able to do one or two things with the other talent that you have, but your major strength should be that one that gives you joy and that you do effortlessly. So it's very important for you to know which one exactly. Many people have different talents. Okay, Faust is a musician, for example. He studied law. Do you think that he cannot practice law? Of course he can, but his music is what gives him that joy and satisfaction when he does it. So for you need to identify which one exactly gives you that satisfaction and passion, and that is where you need to channel your energy to. How
I
do I
want
get?
to add something a bit
Okay.
for that one. Thanks so much, Ijeoma. Also know that there are, sometimes your passion may not be what they are looking for. So you could think about all the niches that you have, and then knowing that, okay, assuming that music is your passion, but then this scholarship that they are looking for somebody who also likes girl child education, and you also like girl child education, because you are looking for scholarship, channel your energy, the girl child education, because it's also an interest for you to get the scholarship. Because sometimes you may be looking for music, and there is no music, and you're shutting yourself out. If you have like 5, put them in rank. Yes, this is music is my first, teaching is my second, education is my third, this one. And then you start looking for music, is not coming up. The second one is teaching, people in the education sector. You follow through with that one, but be intentional about that. Every fellowship that you apply, every scholarship that you are applying, you should target one thing. Don't bring you like goats, you like crayfish, you like pepper inside one. Make sure that you're targeting one, because sometimes you feel like, okay, this is what I really want, but there are other opportunities out there. And I've told us here in the character room, your brain can accommodate so much. There's so people will do maybe engineering, but they've changed into human resource management. People will do this and ITs. If you can explore, keep exploring, but make sure that you have enough evidence portfolio to show. It also helps you, just not that you say this one works for me, but then I'll go ahead and do that. If you can explore, but have evidence, have experience around it. Go for fellowships, go for, like she said, fellowships works, volunteering also works. If it's not stressing you out, just do what you need to do to get some portfolio around other interests and use it to apply. One of my friends who is now in the US, he read what do you call it now? He made a first class in engineering. Is he engineering now, or I know it's something around math, but when he later thought about, he also likes mass comm. In fact, he writes well. What he did was to apply for a master's here in Nigeria to do communication, master's in communication, and he decided to go for internship. Yes, his background, he loved his former background, but there's also somewhere he's going, which is an interest. So he now did that master's. From that master's, he got internship with CNN. And so that's in CNN Africa. So he did that internship as part of the master's, and he continued with internship. He now took teaching role, teaching masters here in the university, before he now applied for his PhD. So you wouldn't say because he studied, he liked his first interest. He's also excited about it. He teaches people about that, but there's also another interest, and he needs experience. He needs internship. So he started doing everything. Now in fact, he has won 2 awards in the US in mass comm. Nobody remembers the fact that he did was engineering in his first year. He's now focused on mass comm and everything. So choose what you want, even if it's not a passion, like there is another passion you have, but this one I have interest in it. Can I explore? Can I start building internship? Can I start reaching out to people? Doing lots of things. It helps you also build credibility around that, so that you don't keep saying, I want music, and since no scholarship is giving me music, I should not sleep. Please explore other options. It helps you build credibility. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Laura, for adding. So give me a minute, please. So there's nothing wrong with you combining your talents. Two talents you are a musician, but how can you use your music in the field of gender equality, or for example, because you
Yes.
ask questions like that, your long-term goals, your short-term goals, you need to show them that what you have, both of them can work. Okay, so
Yeah.
it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be music. Like Flora has mentioned, from engineering you can switch to a new background. Okay, I was doing a job that I never even studied as a mass communication student. They taught me how to write. They taught me how to write. And then I was doing budget cleaning, data analysis, and all of that. I never studied it in school. So you have
Yeah.
to, and by the time you volunteer and work with different places and do kind of work, you'll be able to find yourself. And you have to like form like I mentioned, your narrative is what sells you out. So how does this connect? How does that connect? How can you use all of them together to advance a particular change in your society? That's what they're looking for. Um, I'm really running out of time now, so I wish you'd have
Yeah.
just dropped your questions in the chat box for
Okay,
me.
so there's a question here. Let's focus a bit on the people in the chat first, then we can now take other people. Please, if you can, share your question in the chat. It will help us manage time. She needs to get to other things and also attend to her family. Vivian said something around, okay, no, before Vivian, there is Rhoda. Rhoda asks you, how do I get organization to volunteer? Please give tips on how to go about it. Thanks.
Yeah, I think I saw Vivian's response to that. She said, your question, you can reach out to NGOs, attend their event, tell them you would like to volunteer. You can Google NGOs online and so I think Vivian gave a very perfect response to them. So reach out. You have to just reach out. Don't stay in your room and be expecting somebody to look for you. You're the one that will go out and look for them. Tell them that you are good in writing, or that you don't have any experience at all. You don't need to have any experience. That's why you're a volunteer. They will teach you how to do all of those jobs. And while you're doing those kind of volunteering work, you will find your niche, your purpose. You will find exactly what you want in life. So step out of your comfort zone, come out of your room, go out. If you have to trek, if you don't have time on it, go out and look for something to do. Even very little organization, because in fact, small organizations are they have direction, they have direct access to, to grassroots, kind of, how do I put it? So you need to reach out to them, go out, check their platform. They don't have online presence, go to their office and tell them that you want to be a volunteer for them, and they'll definitely take you in. Then somebody said you talked about not using AI. How about writing your story and using AI to refine it? What do you mean by writing your story and using AI to refine it? Do you mean you want AI to fix your grammar for you? Because yes, AI can help you fix your grammar. Do you want AI to give you pointers on how to make it better? Yes, AI can do, but when you talk about refining, do you want it to change it entirely, or just a little bit, few pointers? AI can do that for you, but you should be careful for people who write their stuff, send it to AI. AI will change it entirely, and they'll just copy it and paste it and say it's their own. It's not your own. And also, you need to be very careful of the prompts you are giving AI. For example, if you write your own essay and you put it on AI, you tell AI that this is your original story. I don't want you to plagiarize. I want you to just look at for grammar, syntax, and cohesion, and don't change the original nature of the text or of the essay. AI will obey you. It will just give you exactly what you've given it, but it will just change your grammar and the rest. So you need to be careful how you use AI so that we don't get detected. Your question, okay, yeah. Brother, I volunteer with Claire. Okay, exactly. So Vivian is really helping a lot of people in the comment section. Could you quickly explain how to bring in church or religion? Oh, very important, very important. So when I was in Nigeria, I worked as a social media, or let's say content creator for Living Faith Church where I was. I included that in my CV. It's in my CV actually. And the unit head gave a reference for me for my Commonwealth application because I worked there for 5 years. So yes, you can put that you worked with these people, you volunteered with your church. This was your task. It's enough. It's good. Let me not say it's enough. It's good. Put it in your CV, put it in your story if you feel like it is very important for that your essay. So don't ignore church or religious volunteering. It's very important. Even the activities you do in church, put it in. How do you craft compelling stories that win your scholarship, even as a second lower applicant? I have NGO experience and other qualifications. I've already mentioned it, that for scholarships that don't say that you must have a first class, the other ones bank on your experience. So I don't know what space you work, but if you have NGO experience and other qualifications, you need to be able to showcase your achievements in those space. As someone who has worked in the NGO space, in whatever capacity you did, you worked, what were your achievements while you were working there? Do you understand? If you were an officer or a consultant, whatever it is that you were doing in that space, forget about your certificates from the university. Your experience is what counts, but you need to show how you've been able to impact change in that space that you are. You need to show your achievements. You need to show your impact, not just your role. So that is your strength when you want to when you want to apply for some of those opportunities. But if the scholarship say first class is a requirement, don't bother yourself with those ones. Go on the ones that don't even put your qualification. Okay. I think these are the questions, Flora.
Yes. So Patience, is your hand up, or is it the former one? Hi, Patience.
I can share my slides with people. Also, I mentioned to Agnes, you know your community better. But if there are those who want to apply again for Sydney or Commonwealth, I can refer, maybe the most I can take is 5. I can work with a few to review their essay for them. And then I can also refer them to some of my friends who are Chivenans to help them look at their essays. But you need to put in a lot of work. Don't carry, I don't want to use the word rubbish, and give someone to review your essay and expect them to perfect it for you. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. We're not your servants or your slaves. You have to put in your work, do it very well to the best of your ability, and then send it to us so that we can now give you some pointers and things that you need to take note of. So we can, as a form of friendship, I'm extending my hand of friendship to through Agnes to CharacteRoom, that we can accommodate 5 persons, my friends and myself and some of my friends, to review some essays this period. So at most 5 actually. So thank you so much, Flora and Agnes. I can also share my slides. I can share my slides also. If you want to reach out to me, my name is Ijeoma Okereke-Adagba. That is my name on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on X. I'm Loveling IJ. My email, I think Agnes can drop my email too with you for your chat. Okereke Ijeoma 17. Exactly. So you can just. Thank you so much.
And if you allow us, I could drop your contact just in case, but then we don't want people disturbing you.
No, not
so if you're interested, just reach out to me. She's taking only 5 people. So I will drop her handles so you could actually reach out to her via handles. That one she can take her time to review when she wants. But then I've already seen people saying interested. Okay, let's put that in the WhatsApp group so that I will take account of that. Just do a screenshot and then I'll keep that as reference. And then waiting for you to come up with your quality applications, because only quality applications we are taking. Thank you so much, IJ. Thank you. Some people are saying they already followed you. They already followed you on LinkedIn. I'm sure she would accept the connection request as soon as she can. Thank you so much. At this point in time, Miss Flora is already. I'm sure she's already late for her class. So, so guys, thank you so much. Thank you, IJ. Oh yeah. Okay.
Starting night today, so you guys are lucky.
Flora.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning, Miss Alabiko.
Morning, Miss Alabiko.
You are very busy now. I sent you a text and you didn't reply me, and I'm angry over it.
Well, it's fine.
Let me look for a trouble before you go for your studies.
See, my eyes are itching me. I don't see the rest. But I saw your message. That was in the night. Fine. Don't worry, this weekend I want to you. Let me tidy up.
Yeah, so I also saw that you are yawning, even though I got bumped out at some point. So I see that you need that rest to re-energize for the day.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Is IJ still?
I'm just about to leave.
IJ, well done. Thank you so much. Please, can we use our best emojis to say thank you to IJ? Thank you so much, IJ. We appreciate you. It's not easy to spend your time freely to share some of these things that she shared with us. You have to pay all these scholarship agents, and at the end of the day, they will not tell you anything. They will just ask you to give them money to apply for you here. They don't know your story, so don't give anybody money to apply for anything. They don't know your story. They can't carve your story. And most important is that you're telling your story by yourself. You be passionate about this. There are lots of opportunities. In fact, since how many months I was dragging Agnes for scholarships. I'll be sending her loads. So from now on, once I send her, she will send to the group everyone, and I'll ask her, please, Auntie Agnes, help send the ones that I've shared with you, share them in the group. People, please go and apply. Don't get yourself short before you even know whether they are going to accept you or not. Apply first and leave the decision for them to make. Don't make the decision for them. Oh, they're not going to take me. Oh, I'm not qualified. Keep applying. Before you know it, you'll be qualified, and the experience you've gathered just applying will make all the things, just like IJ said. And be bold about your failures. Even if you can tell them that you apply for this one, you didn't get because you feel, but this one is very important. Share, tell your story, be natural, be you. Don't I like that IJ pointed about the AI thing. There is an extent to which you use AI when you are applying, because AI sounds the same. So be very, very how you are using AI to make all this application. Write for yourself first, tell your story, and then refine with AI if you have to. Okay. Thank you so much, IJ. We appreciate you. If we need your help again, we will call on you to come and help us when we are done with our applications or writing our essays, to come and help us refine. IJ, you promised us 5 people. Did you change your mind, or have you said it? I bumped out a bit.
Yeah, she has said it. So she said it.
Okay, she has said it. Okay,
yeah, she said she will collaborate with her other scholars to take 5
people. Yes, thank you, IJ. So if you're dulling yourself, take the opportunity. 5 people first to come. And me and Agnes, we are going to do mago for this one. Agnes is not. So first to reach out to Agnes or myself would share it with IJ. But you have to do your work. They're not doing your work for you. They are only reviewing. Remember, they are busy. They're only going to review. They're not going to do your work for you. But you need their help. If you're interested, reach out so that we'll share with them. She'll get other people to help. We need more people to go there. And remember my tithe. That's the bottom line of everything we are doing here. All right, people of God. Thank you for making it today in the character room. We have a lot to cover. We'll get someone on grants. We'll get someone on fellowships as well. So please don't miss the session. Get more people. And it's the weekend. I'm not disturbing you tomorrow morning, so you can sleep till 12 p.m. And Sunday as well. Enjoy. So Farah is not going to disturb you at 7 o'clock, but we'll keep sharing information in the chat. Please share with other people. Get more people. The character room is here to stay, and we are here to make impact for Nigeria and for Africa. All right. Thanks, everyone, and have a beautiful day. Bye, IJ, and God bless you for an amazing session. Take care, everyone.